Hey, Court, can you hear me? Doing our little mic check here. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for stopping through. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. Courtney, can you hear me this evening? I want to make sure everything is right. Okay, perfect. Hey, everybody, welcome to the live. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. Give people time to come into the live. Tonight, the subject is we're going to be talking about fragrance terms, and we're going to be talking about layering, which is everybody's favorite. Thank you all for joining the live. We'll get started in just a few minutes. I hope everybody had an awesome day today. Hello, everybody coming in the live. We will be getting started here in just a few minutes, trying to give some more people time to come in. And tonight the subject is going to be, we're going to be talking about fragrance terms. Hello, hello. If you all could do me a favor and leave a couple likes for me, I appreciate it. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the likes, everybody. All right, we're going to get started in just a few minutes, trying to give a couple more people time to come in. Thanks for stopping through. If you'll do me a favor and leave a like on your way in. And the subjects tonight are going to be basic fragrance terms that we all should know. And then we're going to jump into talking about layering, which is everybody's topic. All right, so we've got a few people in here. So I hope everybody had a good day today and happy Wednesday. Thanks for the likes and welcome to everybody coming in the room and stopping through. If you'll do me a favor and leave a like on the way in, I appreciate it. So tonight what we're going to talk about are some basic fragrance terms. If you want to grab a pen and paper, or you can always catch the replay, what we need to know, if you all could drop in the chat for me if you know what top notes are, because we keep talking about notes every week, so we're going to go ahead and talk about them again this week. Does anybody know what top notes are and what they do? How about top notes? And welcome to everybody coming in alive. We're talking about fragrance terms. Oh, Court, I forgot to share the live with somebody too, real quick. Does anybody know what the term top notes means for everybody that is in here? What do they mean? What do they do? Why are they important? All right, so if you were with us for episode number 2, which is when 2 and 3, which is when we talked about top notes, and thanks for everybody stopping through the live, and welcome, welcome, welcome for those that are coming in via the videos. So top notes are the notes that burn off first, right? So those are the notes that we smell first, and they're also the notes that burn off first, right? So when you use in the world of perfume, if you are layering, would you layer with the top note at the bottom? Would you put your top note on first or last? Would you put your top note on first or last? All right, and welcome to everybody that's coming in the live, and thanks for running the likes up for me. All right, so top notes are your initial impression of the fragrance. right? It's the very first thing that you smell, and then also your top notes burn off first. All right, so for example, I use peaches. If you have peaches as your top note, that's what you're going to smell initially. But then you get into your middle notes or your heart notes, and your middle notes are the ones that bring everything together. And then you have your bass note. So your bass notes are your heaviest notes, right? So your top notes burn off. Then your middle note are what's called your middle note or your heart note. And then you also have your bass note. And your bass notes tend to be your heavier scents, such as your woods. We talked about that as well. So that's just a quick review of your notes. So your terms, and I'm actually looking at my notes as well. Your top notes are going to be your initial impression of your fragrance. It doesn't matter whether it is cologne or perfume or any type of fragrance. If you're a candle maker, it doesn't matter, right? And then you have your middle notes or your heart notes, which are like the core of the fragrance, right? So that is pretty much what we smell. And then we have our base notes, which is what the dry down is going to smell like. So when you spray it on initially, we get that top note. And then once it starts to dry down after about an hour, you're going to get your heart notes. And then your base notes are what you're left with. So in the case of layering, we're going to mix two things here together. Would you put on your top note first? So of course we're going to moisturize, but we'll talk about that more during our layering discussion here in a few minutes. What should you put on first? What should you put on first? And thanks to everybody coming in. Thanks for getting the likes up for me. All right, so keep those three things in mind when we talk about our layering discussion. And welcome everybody to the live. All right, how about our next word is a big one that we all use in the fragrance world. How about sillage? Anybody know what that means? Sillage, sillage, because that's the one we hear thrown around the most, right? What is the sillage on that particular perfume or cologne? All right, and welcome to everybody joining the live. The sillage, the official definition, is the trail of the scent left behind by the wearer. High sillage means the fragrance leaves a noticeable trail, while low sillage is more subtle. So most of us like high sillage perfumes in most cases, right? I wouldn't say doing that at work though. A lot of people are very sensitive to fragrances, especially if you work in an office or in a small room. It's nice to have the sillage, but a lot of people are very sensitive. So we'll talk about different ways to expand that sillage and how to have that famous scent trail, right? But the official word for scent trail really is sillage. All right, dry down. So I just talked about dry down a few minutes ago, but the official the official term for that, excuse me, is the final phrase of a fragrance where the base notes are most prominent. This is the scent that remains on the skin after the top and middle notes have evaporated. So that is the official term for our dry down. All right, here's a new one that we haven't talked about on this podcast yet. And thank you for everybody that's stopping through the live and for the likes. All right, so the next word is going to be accord. There are fragrance accords and fragrance notes, and we are going to talk a little bit more about accords on the next episode as we get into blending. So the entire month of September, we're doing our basics for the rest of the month of August, and then in September, that's all we're going to talk about is blends, blends, blends. Every episode in September is going to be about blends, what blends well together. So that's why we're going over our notes, all of our fragrance terms, and what they mean, so that when we get to blending and I throw something out there, you know exactly what it means. And again, thank you for everybody stopping through the live and getting the likes up for me. and welcome to the live. So, an accord is a combination of different notes blended together to create a single distinct fragrance impression. All right? An accord, a combination of different notes blended together to create a single distinct fragrance impression. Accord, we have different fragrance families, we have different fragrance accords, but we haven't talked about accords on this podcast yet. So we have talked about notes and we have talked about in detail the fragrance wheel. All right, so let's keep going. Perfume concentration. This is a big one. So sillage, of course, the three notes, dry down, and perfume concentration. Perfume concentration refers to the strength of a fragrance. Common types include parfum, extrait de parfum, all day perfume, or EDP, which is what most of us get, all day toilette, or EDT, and all day cologne, EDC, with parfum being the most concentrated and longest lasting. And also, the difference between a toilette and a parfum is going to be probably a couple $100 because toilettes are light. It's like body sprays are considered toilettes, but a parfum is actually a perfume. So when we get into our designer perfume discussion, designer colognes versus niche colognes and niche perfumes, it's important that you know the different concentrations or strengths. All right, because basically you get what you pay for. If you pay $2 for something, it's probably going to be a toilette. All right, or toilette. All right, thanks to everybody for getting the likes up too that's in here, and welcome inside the live. The next thing, olfactory family. So we refer to these as our fragrance wheel areas or sections, right? But the official term, we said fragrance family, but it's really olfactory family. Olfactory family, and those are categories of scents that share common characteristics such as floral, oriental, woody, and fresh. All right, so the official term or terminology for fragrance families is really olfactory family. So if you say that to a perfumer, they will know that you've actually been doing your work, all right, in your research. So, again, olfactory families are floral, woody, oriental, and fresh. All right, same thing, same as the fragrance families on the fragrance wheel. Welcome to everybody that's stopping through the live. I appreciate those hanging out with me and all the likes. The next term is going to be nose. And we're not just talking about the nose that's on our face, it's something called a fragrance nose. And that is a term to refer to a professional perfumer who designs and creates fragrances. All right, so if you are a candle maker, a soap maker, body care maker, or if you make perfume, all of us, because I'm a candle maker, we are considered to have the perfumer's nose because we do it on a professional level. All right, so that's another term out there. Some of these other ones I went, those are the most popular 10, 11, including the fragrance wheel. And welcome to everybody stopping through. The fragrance wheel is a visual representation of relationships between the different olfactory families and subfamilies, helping to classify and understand fragrances. So, if you watched last week's clip and I uploaded all of the episodes thus far, we're on episode number 4. So, if you go back to episode number 3, I showed two different types of fragrance wheels. I showed the basic fragrance wheel, and I also showed a more detailed fragrance wheel that a professional would use that show all the fragrance families and the subfamilies of the different fragrances within. So all of this is important because everybody just wants to jump straight into blending, and a lot of times we don't know what's in these perfumes or colognes that we put on our skin. So when we get into blending and layering, it's important to know the basics. So bear with me. This is a series that we have going, and we are on episode number 4, but we're in the series episode number 3. So that is the fragrance wheel. So now I'm going to go over some things that you may hear a little bit more if you are a professional, but the everyday user probably doesn't even know what these next things mean. But for those of you that are professionals that are either in here now or watching the replay, let's talk about it. Everybody that's coming through, thank you for the likes and thank you for joining in the live. All right, so this next one, it's aldehydes and it's spelled Aldehys. Ald or aldehydes. I may have pronounced that wrong, so forgive me if I did. But those are organic compounds that are used in perfumery to add a bright, sparkling quality to fragrances. They are often found in floral and fresh scents. All right, and again, that's aldehydes, Aldehys. All right, so again, often found in floral and more fresh family. All right, so they can also be found in colognes as well because of that fresh family. All right, the next one, Cypher, spelled Chypre, a fragrance family categorized by a harmony of citrus, floral, woody, and mossy notes. It's named after the French word for cypress, where these scents were traditionally made. So I'll say that one more time. Cypher, Chypre, a fragrance family categorized by a harmony of citrus, floral, woody, and mossy notes, and that is named after the French word for cypress, where these scents were traditionally made. All right, so the next one is a popular one, especially in the fragrance world, and of course here on TikTok. And welcome to everybody coming through the live. Gourmand. Are you a gourmand girly? Are you a gourmand guy? Do you like scents that smell edible or like food? All right, so gourmand is the fragrance family that features edible or dessert like qualities, often containing notes like vanilla, chocolate, caramel, or coffee. All right, gourmand, I'm going to say that one more time. A fragrance family that features edible or dessert like qualities that often contain notes like vanilla, chocolate, caramel, or coffee. All right, I am a gourmand girly. I love gourmand scents because I like vanilla and caramel. All right, how about the next one? Flanker. Flanker, a variation of an existing fragrance, typically with slight modifications in composition to appeal to different tastes or seasons. Flanker. We also may know that as something else that starts with a D or inspired by. All right, flanker. Next one, fragrance pyramid. When we get into our layering and our blending discussion, we will talk more about the fragrance pyramid. But the fragrance pyramid, as far as the terms go, is a visual representation of a perfume structure showing the relationship between the top, middle, and base notes. All right, and again, thank you for everybody that's stopping through the live. Drop a like for me on your way in. Now, this one, I didn't know about this one either until I did this research for tonight. Soliflor, and I hope I spelled this right, but it's spelled Soliflore, and the definition is a fragrance composed with the highlight of a single flower, such as rose or jasmine. Shout out to my mod Court because she likes more flowery things. She's more in the floral category. So I fall under gourmand. She would fall under the soliflor. She likes fragrances that are composed to highlight the scent of a single flower, such as rose or jasmine, and she likes both of them. All right, here's the next one. I'll spell it for you. Anosmia. Insomnia. If I spell that wrong, please correct me. And it is the ability to perceive color, which can be temporary or permanent. Specific insomnia refers to the inability to detect certain scents. So I have a one of my mods actually has a whole business that is based around insomnia, and I'm gonna see if I can get her to come on here and do a episode for us. Especially after COVID, there are many people that suffer with insomnia, and I hope I said it right. And shout out to Abba because I know she'll be watching the replay. The next one, Atar. And I know that a lot of you have heard of that because there are several colognes that have the name Atar, which means a traditional form of perfume made from natural extracts, typically flowers and essential oils without alcohol, common in Middle Eastern and South Asian cultures. So if you are into the Arabic scents, I'm into those as well. You will hear Attar mentioned all the time. And while I'm talking about it, after we finish talking about our business, I actually am going to do a box opening for, and let me put this in the frame so you all can see. I have the new one from Paris Corner. Hopefully, you all can see that. The Juicy Melange, for those of you that are into the Arabic sense. So I do have it and I will be opening it later. Give you my first impressions. All right, so let's go to the next one. That one was a tar. And let me say that again before I go to the next one. Attar is how it's spelled, and it's a traditional form of perfume made from natural extracts, typically flowers and essential oils without alcohol, typically common in Middle Eastern and South Asian cultures. All right. The next one, we have two more. Diffusion. And this one is an important one, especially if you are into perfume. Diffusion, the rate at which a fragrance evaporates and disperses into the air. High diffusion means a fragrance will fill a room quickly, while low diffusion stays closer to the skin. All right, diffusion. So remember that one because that is basically how fast the scent fills the room from your perfume or cologne. And it kind of goes hand in hand with sillage. Sillage is that scent trail, and how many people ask you, what are you wearing, right? Sillage and diffusion are important. Last but not least, and these are basic terms, fixative, Fixative, a substance used in perfume making to stabilize the more volatile components, prolonging the scent's longevity on the skin. I'll say it one more time. Fixative, Fixative, and that is a substance used in perfume making to stabilize the more volatile components, prolonging the scent's longevity on the skin. So a lot of people don't even know, and it's really sad. We love our perfumes, we love our colognes, we love our perfume oils. Do you even know what's in them? Most of us don't, right? So that's something that you really want to start looking into. And if you're not getting into it, it's called clean fragrances. And I don't mean the clean fragrance family, I mean clean fragrances that are made with clean products. Start looking those up and researching the people who sell those because you really need to know what you're putting on your skin. All right, and I'm going to pause that there for just 1 second. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I went over? There are some more of the popular terms in there. All right, so definitely start research. And if you are seriously going to get into blending and layering and you love to do that, know what you're putting on your skin. As the holidays come up, if you are doing this on a professional level or if you want to do it for gifts, of course, scent and aromatherapy always makes a great gift. And we will have an episode about essential oils as well that will come next month because a lot of people are into essential oils and aromatherapy. So that's going to be part of the blend series. And thank you to everybody that's stopping through the live. If you don't mind dropping a like for me. All right, so far, thank you all for joining, as I said, to the Bubbles and Flames podcast. As you all can see right behind me, season two, the episodes are now available on right here on TikTok. If you'll look at my profile, you'll see the podcast. That's the entire series. That's the edited version, and also on YouTube. So give me a follow if you haven't already followed me. We talk about a lot of interesting things, and I have some guests that'll be coming up. If you own a business and if you are a professional, if you're interested in being a guest, shoot me a DM. I'd love to talk to you about featuring you on an episode. Or if you would like to do a collab and you want your products talked about, just let me know. And again, thank you to everybody stopping through and for those hanging in with me. So, what we talked about really quick so far, um, we have talked about over the last four episodes. The first one I don't count because it was really just a welcome and an unboxing. But we have talked about the fragrance wheel, we've talked about fragrance notes, and we have talked about the fragrance families, and now we just went over the fragrance terms, the basic ones. So, again, I can't urge you enough as a professional to know what you are putting on your body. And if you have allergies, spray it on your clothes. All right. And if they contain oils, do it. Do that good old spot check so that you're not getting oil on your fine fabrics. All right. So, let's see. The next thing, what I wanted to talk about really quick, let me hit the highlights for those that just came in the room of the terms that we just went over and some things that you want to make sure that you remember. Number one, the top notes, middle notes, and base notes. What do those mean, especially in the world of perfumery? The top notes or notes are the ones that you smell initially. So when we first do this spray that we like to do, right? That's what we smell are the top notes. Your middle notes, after your top notes burn off, your middle notes are what blends the fragrance together, or they could also be called heart notes. And then you have your base notes. All right, so you have top, middle, and base notes. Your base notes also can be referred to as your dry down. What is it? What is the perfume or cologne or whatever you're wearing going to smell like after everything has dried down? All right, so think about that. The next three terms that I wanted you to remember: sillage. Sillage means your scent trail. Do you leave one? Do you want to leave one? The heavier your notes are in your perfume, the stronger your scent trail, which is why when you're at work, you wear your lighter fragrances or your cleaner fragrances or scents. And then at night, especially on date night, you tend to wear heavier because you want to leave that scent trail. Now, here's a tip that you could do for leaving a scent trail. You can spray your hair, you can spray your clothes, and you can also spray the back of your shoulders with your perfume or cologne, because as you walk by, that's the scent that you're going to leave behind you. I'll tell you all about a TikTok event that I went to last week, and I'll tell you about that, especially if you do the TT shop. All right. So, sillage, dry down, and accord. Those are the three things. If I would say you take anything away from you, sillage, dry down, and fragrance accords. All right. We will talk more about accords once we get into our blending, which is going to be the entire month of September. Accords are the different fragrance families. All right. Perfume concentrations. What's the difference between a perfume and a toilette? What's the difference? Perfume is going to be heavier. That is going to be the strongest concentration. It's going to last the longest and burn off the slowest. You also have EDP, which is all day parfum, and EDT. And again, they all cost different things. So perfume parfum, excuse me, being the most expensive, and your toilette, which is typically your body mist, being the least expensive. All right, so those are some things you can take with you. And then we talked about some more advanced terms real quick. We talked about fixative, soliflor, gourmand, and cypre. All right, and the most popular one, of course, is gourmand because gourmand pertains to fruit. So most women either are floral girlies, gourmand girlies, or they like a combination between the two. All right, so let's see here. Let's talk about fragrance layering because a lot of people love to layer. So there's different ways that you can do layering. What I recommend as a professional and also personally, when you layer, you want to moisturize. I cannot emphasize that enough. Pretty much everything that you see advertised, whether you are on Instagram, whether you're on TikTok, it doesn't matter, YouTube, whatever, everybody talks about moisturizing, whether you use lotion, whether you use oil, whether you use a body cream, it doesn't matter. But make sure that you moisturize. It is very, very important. The reason why it's important is because it leaves a layer between your skin and whatever scent that you are wearing. All right, so moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. When you get out of the shower or bath, make sure that you moisturize. You can either put your lotion on, then you can put your body oil on, then you can do a body mist, then you can do whatever scent choice you're wearing for that day. And then also, especially for my ladies, if you want to have that sillage, go ahead and spray your pulse points. And remember, do not rub. You want to pat or just make it easy and spray both of your arms on your wrist. And the reason that you don't rub is because you can rub off your top notes. So I know a lot of us were raised to rub together, but do not rub them because you will rub off the top notes. All right. So layering, can you combine two different fragrance families? Absolutely. Get creative with your layering of your scents. We are getting ready to get into the fall season, especially if you are a maker. You should already be thinking about or considering what you are going to introduce for your fall, and you really should now be on your winter lineup. What are you going to roll out for your fall and winter fragrances? All right, tragedy dark rather. You can drop it in the chat, um, or if once we have people come up on a different episode, you're more than welcome to. What notes did you use for your fragrance? I'm interested to hear. Do I have anybody that in those that are watching? How many of you drop in the chat for me? How many of you actually like combining different scent families, like a gourmand and a floral, a woody and a fresh? Drop some of the perfumes or the colognes that you like in those families. What are some of the things that you like for layering? I'm interested to see what you all like to wear. What different scent families? As I mentioned, I like gourmand. My mod court, she typically likes floral, but we both like fruity. And then I have another mod. He does masculine scents, so most of his are clean and or woody or woodsy. All right. So what I recommend is test your layering scents before you put them on your body. Your individual pH is going to make them smell different, and everybody might not like how it smells on them, but you might like it on somebody else, right? Because fragrances in the world of fragrance is subjective and is selective. It depends. Everybody doesn't like the same thing. So a lot of times you'll see people on here say, "Oh, I love this, I love that," but that's what they like. That doesn't necessarily mean that it may work for you. That's why people talk about they buy things doing a blind buy. and it turned out they didn't like it, it's because it didn't work for them or on their skin. All right, so layering ideas, let's talk about it. How about, does everybody know the difference between a designer cologne or perfume and a niche cologne or perfume versus budget friendly or inspired by? And can you combine any of those together? And the answer to that is yes. And I'm going to do an unboxing here in just a few minutes. All right. How many of you actually are really into layering, blending? If you're a maker, it's considered blending, fragrance blending, and typically it's for the seasons. But how many people have go-tos that they wear year round? Like I tend to like the heavier scents, the fall scents, and the winter scents because again, I mentioned I like vanilla. So do whatever works best for you. And if you are a maker, always make something that you would wear yourself. All right, so for our layering, really quick, make sure that you moisturize because the more moisturized that you are, the longer your scent will last, and put it on your pulse points, but do not rub it off. And if you want to have a good sillage or a good scent trail, make sure you spray it in your hair. All right, or a lot of people put it on the back of their shoulders, spray their clothes. There's different ways that you could do it. And the way that you're going to do your layering when you are spraying on your perfume or your cologne. I talk about this scent hack on every single episode, so of course I'm going to mention it again tonight. Very inexpensive for your samples. We all get samples, we all love our samples. You can grab your favorite lotion. I would say unscented if you're going to put a fragrance in it, but if it's like a base, like a vanilla or something like that, that blends well with the scent you're going to use, go for it. Pour the scent sample into there and shake it up really good. All right, put that on. That's a 2-in-1. That's your moisture that you're putting on, right? Moisturize, moisturize. And then you'll also get the first layer of your cologne or perfume. And then what you're going to do if you're layering, you're going to spray your lightest scent first, let it dry. Then you're going to go in with your beast mode. If it doesn't matter to you, then you can spray them on. Some people spray different ways, but that's just what I do because that beast mode is the scent that they're going to remember you walking by or you smelling good, whatever your heaviest scent is. So your parfum is what you would spray last. Does that make sense to everyone? All right. We're going to get more into layering and blending, like I said, in the whole month of September. So we'll talk more about that. But make sure that you know when you are doing your blending what family that whatever you're blending belongs to. So you have your floral, you have your oriental, woody, and fresh families. Most of the guys tend to like the fresh and woody families, whereas most women like the floral and the oriental. Really, most women like all of them, but more so floral or oriental. Your ambers and your gourmands and your vanillas fall under your oriental. All right. Then within that, you have subfamilies, which are your fruity florals, your spicy orientals or your spices, and of course, your citrus, which falls under your fresh family. All right, so we have about 20 minutes left. I promised you all that I was going to show you some stuff that I got from the TikTok event. It is called, if you have a TT shop, it is called TikTok Taste Makers. And they were in Atlanta last week. So I actually went and we all got goodie bags. And I was going to show you on camera. I made a video about this too, what was actually in the goodie bags. They are going to do the next one in Dallas. So if you are in the Discord and you can get the link, it is a free event, but you do have to sign up. If you have not gotten the email, it is called TikTok Shop Tastemakers. There is a hashtag out there for that. I went to the one in Atlanta. Orlando was the first one. It is a program for women. There were some guys there, but it is primarily for women, women of color. So that's that what that program's going to be. They're launching that in September. So here's what we got in the bag. This bag does not have a label on it. All right, it's no label on it. And let me turn this off so you could actually see what was in the bag. Give me just a second. And welcome everybody. Thanks for joining the live. All right. So here's what was in the bag. I'll show it one more time so you all could see it better. It was just a plain black bag, right? So we got those. And it was sponsored by Topicals. And Topicals is a skincare line. So this is what I got. This is the product that I chose. All right, so I'm going to come back to that. It's called High Roller. But what was inside the bag, let me show you. We all got a hat. So it's a nice black hat that says TikTok on it. You got to pick a cookie, whether you wanted the one that said TikTok Shop or you got a logo. You could get a logo cookie. We got some TikTok stickers. Here's the flyer about the event. All right, and on the back of there, and I'm going to hold this for a second. If you are interested, I'm going to give you a second. If you can, let me see if I could get this, where you can scan that QR code if you're interested in the program. Again, the next stop is going to be Dallas on the 23rd. So if you are interested, go ahead and scan that. And then Topicals did a skin evaluation. So we each got a card. So the product that I got to choose, because you get to choose a product and you got some more products in your goodie bag. But the product that I chose was the Topicals High Roller. It is actually in my TT shop. And I've been using this the past couple of days and I really like it. I've already washed my face because I knew I was going to be doing a demonstration. But this is a full-size product that you actually get to use and you get to keep it, of course. But it's real simple. It's if you have ingrown hairs, and here's what it looks like. All right, and you simply literally just roll it on, just like this. That's it. That's all you're gonna do. You let it dry, and then you rub it in, and it actually brings those ingrown hairs to the surface. Now, that was given to me by the esthetician that was doing the skin evaluations. But I also got the serum because they ask you which of their products do you want. We had the choice between the High Roller, which I just showed you, the serum. So that's what this looks like in here, and I'll show you what it looks like. Or you could get what's called a faded bar. So all their packaging is pretty good. It tells you what's in it and how to use it. This is the serum. I use this at night. And again, I actually like their products, and they are actually in my TT shop. And if you do the TikTok shop, I would encourage you to add them, research them, and see if they work for you. All right, so this is what the serum looks like. I had a different one, but I'll open this one. All right, and it's a cream, if you all could see that. And you just rub it on your face. I use mine at night so that it can stay on. I am not a skincare person, but this is what works for me. All right. And what you all have been waiting for, the Juicy Melange. This is the newest one out. I ordered Daniel's fragrance. For those of you that are true fragrance girlies, I ordered Daniel's fragrance and I am waiting for it to come. So I will have that one probably in next week's video. So let's take this off. We talked about this before, where we actually have on all of your Arabic fragrances, you want to look for that sticker. It says UAE, and you see it's a holographic sticker. You can see that, and that lets you know that it's real. So, of course, Paris Corner did their thing. with the packaging. All right, so let's give this, I don't want to mess up my packaging because I have to refilm this again. This is also available in my shop as well. Everybody's talking about this, including Avery, for those of you that follow the big TikTokers. This is the bottle. Very pretty. It's like a purple, which is really why I got it. Of course, I love the scent, but it's a purple and gold. Let me see what it smells like. All right, so you all can see. It's a pretty good sprayer. Oh, I like that one. Yep, I definitely like that one. Let me see what it smells like on my skin. So for the top notes, for me, and I just sprayed that all in my face, but the top notes for me, I get berry, marshmallow. I like it. It's very light though. It's very girly. So I'm gonna let the top notes dry and notice that I didn't rub it off. I have it on the one arm, but definitely don't rub it. I'm gonna see what the dry down's gonna be. As it's drying down, I do smell the strawberry. It's very sweet. It's very tropical. So for me personally, because I put vanilla with everything, it's kind of like the lady with the hot sauce. She puts it on everything. I put vanilla with everything. So I would do a vanilla oil, or I would do a like a body glaze or whatever your favorite is. If you're in here, has anybody tried the skincare bakery? Because I want to try them next. I've been influenced with them. On the dry down, I'm getting more of the strawberries, but it's definitely berry. It's definitely berry heavy. I also smell marshmallow. Let me look up the notes really quick. Has anybody that's in here done the skincare bakery? I just wondered. Let me look up the notes on this one really quick. And Court, you've been quiet on me today. How are you doing this evening? I hope that you're doing good. Usually Court pops in the chat, but she's been busy, I see, this evening. All right, let me give you, I said Juicy Melange is the name of it. It's made by Paris Corner. And the notes, and it's a 3.4 ounce bottle. It is purple and gold. And it's a very pretty bottle. It's prettier in person actually than what we see. Okay, so that's what I'm smelling. Strawberry, black currant. That's what I was smelling, was the currant. The peach, initially you get that. Basil, plum, coconut, apple, and nutmeg. I can smell a little bit of nutmeg, but on to me what stands out are the strawberry, peach, black currant, and plum, because I absolutely love plum and black currant. So for me personally, this is one that I actually would wear all year round because it has your lighter fragrances. And Courtney's probably gonna snatch this one from me because this is her. This is very fruity. So again, if you haven't smelled it, the notes are strawberry, black currant, peach, basil. I don't smell that at all. Plum, coconut, apple, and nutmeg. And I can smell all of that. I definitely, if you are a person that likes fruity scents, definitely. And you can blend this several different ways. I can think of quite a few perfumes that I already have that I'm definitely going to blend this with. So if you bought it on a blind buy, or if you're thinking about getting it, go right ahead. All right. And I didn't see that anybody has, even if you have it on pre-order. Yep. Yep. No, it doesn't smell like that at all. Of course, I'm gonna let you smell it when I see you, but it doesn't smell. I don't smell any other spicy notes. Maybe when I put it with the vanilla or something floral, definitely. But one that I would put this with, Paris Corner, either their pear or their mango. I have the pear, So I'm gonna try that one day this week. That's gonna be my scent of the day. But I'm definitely pleased with this one. And Paris Corner typically they're always spot on, and it will blend well with any of their other scents in the fruity or floral or vanilla. Yes, I do, Court. Your nose is very sensitive. You definitely have the nose, as I mentioned earlier. All right, we are at 8:52. So we have a few minutes left. Does anybody that's still in here have any questions about anything that we talked about? And next week, we are going to talk more about layering. We are going to talk about the basics of blending. We're going to do a review of everything that we've talked about in the previous episodes. We're probably going to have some unboxing. Oh, I just thought about this, and you all were going to let me forget. And I just saw one more thing that we got in the bag from TikTok. How could I forget this? We got nail polish. This is the TikTok nail polish. All right, so those were the products that they gave us at the TikTok event. If you have a chance, go and network. It was a lot of fun. I wasn't gonna go, but I actually ended up going, and I had an awesome time. This is one unboxing that I wanted to do, also available in the TT shop that I forgot to do even last week, and that is the infamous Too Faced Better Than Chocolate. All right, this is supposed to smell, and it really does, because of course I've opened it. It really does smell like chocolate, but for those of you that are into the makeup, this is Too Faced Better Than Chocolate. This is the packaging. Too Faced is a heavy hitter, and this one, it does not disappoint. So if you haven't grabbed it, it was 20 bucks in the TT shop. I have this listed in mine too, but how about that for packaging? Too Faced did not disappoint. I don't even wear makeup like that, and I'm excited to wear this one. All right, so that is the packaging, and of course, it comes with the mirror, and this is what the palette looks like on the inside. Very pretty colors, and they really do smell like chocolate. And this one actually is fall color, so it's right on time. And again, if you're interested in that, I wanted to share that with you all because I had that, but very, very pretty colors. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but I definitely would get that. And I grabbed it, and it was $20 with free. It was less than $20 with free shipping. All right. Well, that is everything that I have. I will have some more unboxings. So keep an eye on my channel. And again, I posted that if you are interested in your products being featured on the podcast, or if you're interested in being a guest, thank you all for watching. And until we meet again, we'll be live again next Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. If you have any questions, or if you would like me to cover a topic, shoot me a DM and I'll be more than happy to. But until then, this is your girl Tina signing off, the Bubbles and Flames podcast, and thank you for watching. Everybody have a good night. Good night, Court.